Our paint is dry now, and so we can proceed to what is arguably the most fun part of the whole process, which is decorating our bird. So I wanted to tell you first of all that although the paint did seal our clay, I decided to go ahead and put a coat of varnish on her, and this is what I used. Ceram coat, satin, exterior, interior varnish. It gives it a more finished look. It is just a satin finish, like you can see, and it just I think I would say adds uniformity to the finish. So although this is the most fun part, I think it's also the most confusing part, maybe, because there are just so many different things you can do depending on what you have in your collection of found objects and so on. As you can see, I'm fussing with this piece that really wants to just not be there. Oh, that's pretty there. Okay, anyway, so I'll go over with you just a few of the types of things that you might have or you might be able to find. Collecting this stuff happens over a long period of time, and you know, you aren't necessarily going to start out with a whole ton of options. But two, or one of the, I think, most readily available and one of the most fun is little bits of paper that you cut out from magazines. So this was from a advertisement for jewelry made from vintage porcelain. So here's 3 little pieces with bluebird chicks on it. Very cute, very appropriate. So paper cutouts are a possibility. Oh, and I have some flowers here that I also cut out from magazines, using, looking for colors that would coordinate with my ribbon and my peach colored paints. I found this in a little box of jewelry, old jewelry bits, or new jewelry bits too. I think this one's new. This is a little belt buckle, and I just, in the past, for whatever reason, had put this little piece of ribbon through it, and it works, I think, really nicely on her. So that's a possibility. I have crowns, little tiny crowns that I bought, somewhere online. These, I'm not sure what these are, but they look like crowns, and I got quite a few of those in a package. This is a old silver earring. Now, I don't happen to have any silver polish on me or around at the moment, but if I did, I could cut the back off, the earring back off, and put butterfly wings on a bird. Other things, this is called rhinestone cup chain. Each little link is like a cup, and there's a sparkly stone set in. They come in different sizes. This is a brass stamping of birds. It's flat, so as it is, it wouldn't work on her very well, but if I could possibly very carefully use some pliers and round it off, but I'm not going to do that. Here's a metal little rose with a white stone in the center. A little I don't know what you call it, a glue-on fancy thing. It's a plastic thing, plastic pearl and rhinestones. Here's another, apparently this was part of something else, but little sparkly thing. You can use your wire and make spirals. This one's way too long, but a spiral coming out of her, the hole I drilled in the side of her beak would be really cute. And then there's also the possibility of crystals that you have, buttons. Here I have ribbon flowers. One might look cute in the center of that. These, originally I thought about maybe using a nighttime theme, and so I was looking for some stars, and I found these in my little group of, or I have a little case of tiny little drawers that I just keep stuff in. I think these are from nail salons or for finishing nails. So I have stars, but in the end I decided not to go with that theme. But I have these little flowers too, which I'm not going to use on her, but it just reminds me, it makes me think that the stuff that beauticians, or I don't know what you call the people who do nails, whatever you call them, they put on your fingernails, that's a source of some possibly pretty interesting stuff. And then also there's tiny little brads. I think they're for scrapbooking. Back when I was in the thinking about the star theme, I have a bunch of these that have stars on the end, and I thought, well, I could cut the back off and glue those on. But like I say, I kind of gave up on the star theme. So, you know, there's just a ton of stuff that you can use. This is Perfect Pearl pen. You just squeeze some out. Well, I'll have to clean out the tip, but it's for making little things that look like pearls. There are also flat back rhinestones and pearls, which you can buy at bead supply shops, and it just sort of simply means that it's a pearl or a crystal with a flat back, so you can glue it on. I made a little tassel out of embroidery thread, which I might put around her ankle or maybe around her neck. And on it I have this tiny little jewelry tag engraved with my name. I was doing needle felted animals for a while, and I wanted to put a tag on them, a nice tag. And I bought some of these. You can get these at charmfactory.com. I looked at them just before I came to film this, and they're pretty expensive now. They're like $1.60 or so each. So that's kind of an investment, but in some cases it's worthwhile if you're going to do a lot of things. So I think that's pretty much it for the embellishments that I have out. And of course there's, you know, so many other things. I don't remember if I mentioned buttons, but buttons are certainly a wonderful thing to use. I wanted to talk a little bit about glues. So for any collage with our paper cutouts, I'm going to use this Liquitex matte gel medium as the adhesive. For other things, fairly lightweight things, possibly like this rose, I could use Aleene's Fast Grab tacky glue. I really like this glue because, as it says, it grabs fast, so you don't have to, you know, try and figure out some way to secure whatever you're gluing for some period of time while the glue dries. And then this is a very heavy-bodied thing that I use as glue, heavy-bodied gel. It's from Art Basics. I'm not sure how readily available it is, but I'm sure you can find something like it. I mean, you can see it's really very stiff. So I went through quite a thought process, excuse me while I open my soda, about what I wanted to do, and I considered many things and then decided not to use them. But one thing I am going to use, I made these, I took crystals, these teardrop crystals, and I put a dab of glue, which has come off, on the end, and my intention is to glue them into these holes. Now, you could use it long, and you could coil these around and make it really, really pretty cute. But I think I'm going to leave them short because I'm going to have a lot going on here. So the first thing I will do is trim these off. And the wire is just going to act like a little connector between the bead and the paper clay sculpture. If you just use the glue and the bead, it might not hold as well as you want, but this will give an additional connection to strengthen the whole thing. So I think I probably could use a new jar of that really heavy gel because it's getting a little dry now. But I should have 8 of these. There's 6, 7. And where is number 8? Oh, here it is. Okay. You can save these little bits of wire if you want. You can make little coils of them and glue them on other things. So for now, I'll get out my heavy body glue and my fancy applicator here, the toothpick, and I'm just gonna glob some on, covering these holes. And then just poke these in. Oops. Bent the wire. Where's the other hole? Okay, we'll skip that one for the moment. Get the rest of them in. And I'll have to poke around and see where those other holes are. That might, yeah, that's one. But now I've lost my glue. Here's some more glue. And there's gotta be one right there, yeah. Okay, there they are. Isn't that pretty? So you can arrange them the way you like, wipe off any obviously horribly extra glue with your fingers. And there she's got a really beautiful tail. Now, I want to use this, but I'm also going to put down some of these one or more of these paper things. So let's start with that. And for that, I'm going to use the Liquitex matte medium, a brush, apply the glue to her, apply the glue to the back of the cutout, and just stick it in place. And let's make sure that's a good spot for it. Yes, I think it is. I do want to add, I think, another flower here, maybe, or a cluster. Like so, maybe. Maybe push this one over a little bit. Add this one right there, or like so. I think like that. All right, a little more glue over here, and on the back. Of course, now I don't remember exactly how I had it. I think maybe like that. Now the paper, the bird, the shape is rounded, it's not flat, but the paper is going to mold itself to that. Let's cut out these little birds and see if I actually want to use them. They are so cute, and they fit perfectly with the theme. They even have little flowers in them, so I'm just gonna cut out an oval for this one. So cute. And this one's in a teardrop shape, but I'm going to cut an oval out of it, or a circle. And finally, this one's in a little heart. It'd be fun to have this jewelry. Okay, we're almost there. Now, you know, I can glue them on. If I don't like them, I can probably pick them right back off. But also, if I really don't like them, I can leave them, but then paint over it later if I want to. So, my flowers, I was thinking I'd put one on the chest and one on each of the wings. And since the flowers are coming over on this wing more, I'm going to put the smallest bird cut out there. Let's see, right about there. That's cute. Okay, and then one on the other wing. Unfortunately, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I was just going to say, unfortunately, both these remaining pieces have the birds looking to what will be the back of her. But that's okay. Let's see if I want this here. Or do I want it there? A little further down? I think I'll put it a little further down. Really glad I found those in the magazine. It was quite an exciting find. Okay, what else do I have here? I was kind of fooling with this, but I think I'd rather see the pink. Could go there, but it looks a little out of place, I think. I have cup chain that I could, that's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Will it go all the way around? No. But it doesn't need to. It can just go under there. So I'm going to cut it here. See, I wasn't even planning on using this, but now I am. And what I'm going to use to attach this, since it's heavier, I'm going to use my my gel, my heavy gel stuff. So get some on a toothpick. Maybe I'll use my finger. I think that's better. Spectacular! You get a Q-tip, get it a little bit wet, and try and remove some of the glue around that. Okay. See how nicely that sticks? Okay. This is the big deal for here. And you know, I think I'm almost done with this. We shall see. And I'm going to put the glue on the middle part. And on the ribbon where it's over the metal. So I'll have as much glue type stuff as I can. Press it down, get that glue in there nice and tight. And then I'd have to decide whether I want that little flower. Here it is. Wonder if the blue might go just in half of it. Won't go. Okay, let go. All right, we're not going to do that. Okay, so yes, I will use this. Wait a minute, now where's the bottom? Where's the bottom? Okay, this is the bottom. Okay. Isn't she pretty? So I was going to put this on top of her head. Is that too much? No, that's not too much. Might be a little too much, but you know, I know they say that less is more. Sometimes I've even said less is more. But really, I'm the more type person, I guess. There. See how well it sticks? Move it up a little bit. There we go. All right. Now I want you to see, I did this before I came back on camera because I just couldn't resist. I used, get this shut, this glitter glue for nail polish. All right, let's see if we want to use the, I like the tag. I like the tag, so I'm going to tie it on. I would really like to tie a bow, but that would probably, might be pretty hard. Let's see if I can put her over like that for a minute. That didn't help, did it? Okay, now it's in a knot. This is tricky. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it for now and come back when everything's really dry and tie that little bow. And I might put a couple little, I could put a little crystal at the end of the threads. I would put a little dab of glue, not the real heavy glue, but the something like a cement, Duco cement, something like that, on the knot so that it couldn't come undone. She's fancier from this side than this side, but we're going to have the feathers coming out of the wing. Now let me see if there's, okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you, I started to talk about it and I don't think I ended up actually talking about it. I've got this glitter glue and I thought that would really make great toenails or like nail polish. But once you do it, you have to kind of leave it alone for a while because this is actually a glue and it takes a while to dry. And in the meantime, if it's not dry and you mess with it, then it's just going to smear all over. Let's see. So since, you know, the metal around all my rhinestones, well, no, I was going to say it's all silver, but it's not. So what I was going to say makes no sense, so never mind. There. That's too much. And this is too much. Okay. There she is. She's a little wobbly. That's okay. And the final thing is the feathers. The bluebird feathers, which were my whole reason for starting this, or for deciding on the theme, if you want to call it that, for the decoration. So I'm going to grab a little more of this thick glue. Put it right over that hole. Now on the feathers, there's a right side and a wrong side, so the top is has a darker rib down the middle of the feather. I have a little bit of that glitter glue on my hand, and it's to some extent coming off on those feathers, which is fine. Let's see if we can, whoops, that was not fine. Okay. There she is, the bluebird. Honoring the bluebird who, intentionally or not, left his feathers by my front door. So there you have it, my friends. I hope you will try this project and that you'll enjoy it. It would be really fun to do with a friend or your family members or whoever you think might enjoy it. And all the best to you. See, I'm still fussing. I can't help it. I like that. I like that. And that just reminds me that there's this little leaf here coming outside of this flower. I might come back in a little bit with some paint and paint a few a few leaves. Meanwhile, let's overdo the crystal stuff and add this. Can't resist. This is part of an old earring. Wore these earrings a long time. And they're still useful. Okay. The glue's on the back. Carefully. Stick it down. I think I'm sticking it down. There. Isn't she beautiful? Makes me want to go buy more crystals. Or look for old jewelry pieces or whatever. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the project. And if I were doing a painting project, I'd say happy painting. I guess here I would say happy birding. Okay, take care.